Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have never worked so hard manually for a video in my life. Or maybe it's because I'm aging. Because 1 minute of that thing that I did, I don't know what you call that, but it took the breath out of me. So anyway, today we're going to be doing Rahu in the 10th house and Ketu in the 4th house dance axis. And what happens when these two planets, the shadow planets, are in your 10th house and 4th house? Because remember, Rahu, Ketu, the north and south node of the moon, can never be 7 places apart, or can never be more than or less than 7 places apart from each other. They're always 180 degrees apart, always opposite to each other. So if one is in the 10th house, the other will be in the 4th house. Now, as always, if you do not know where your Rahu, Ketu are placed, all the other astrological details, including now your destiny point. You can actually now see a destiny point in my new report under the initials BP. It'll be under the initials BP on your birth chart in the second page. So that means it shows exactly where your destiny is in this life. What you're here to do, what you're born to do, or what you should accomplish is seen through this. So I'm one of the first ones in the world to have this new software, to have this. And also this one shows you your nakshatra in the destiny point. So if you want to know all of these things, including in my books and consultations, for that, check out the links here. And also remember, the report comes from option 5 all the way to 14. So let's get started with the Rahu Ketu video, shall we? So Rahu in the 10th house and Ketu in the 4th house. Well, first of all, what is the 10th house? 10th house actually represents your karmas, your highest of karma, your actions into the world. See, many people think that 10th house is the career. If 10th house is the career and you try to see somebody's career, you're going to fail miserably. Career is not seen from the 10th house. Career is seen from some concepts of Gemini. You have to see the hora when you're born in to see exactly where the income is coming from. What 10th house shows is how your image is going to be in the world. What type of an image, circumstances, reputation do you want and you will get through your actions in this life? That's the 10th house. Then you have the 4th house. 4th house is a house of mother, comfort, happiness, vehicles, real estate, land. So that's the 4th house. Now you have Rahu in the 10th house, Ketu in the 4th house. Ketu represents your past. Ketu represents the karmas you're bringing in this life to pay back for. Ketu represents our expertise, right? It represents where we always feel comfortable. Like no matter what happens, man, I can always fall back to this thing and it just gives me comfort. It may not help me, it may not make me rich, but it just gives me comfort. That's what Ketu is. But wherever Ketu is, you have to pay some karma back there. Or maybe you will reap some karma from there. Good or bad? Again, we got to see how the Ketu is, what sign it's in, where the dispositor plays. Always check for the dispositor of Rahu and Ketu. And they will tell you how the situation is. But 10th house and 4th house are the two places where we can really understand the sun. 10th house is where the sun is at Imam Kuli. You know, it's at its highest place. You can see it. It's the noon time. 4th house is the furthest point down in the south. The other side of the world, where sun is rising. So 4th house represents night. 4th house represents during that midnight hour. Here, sun is the weakest according to texts, astrological texts. Is that really the case? No. What this shows, remember, wherever sun is in your chart, it shows the light, where the light is always shining, where this it's like this beacon is. Okay, beacon is always lighting. So if it's in your 4th house, Okay, shows there's just this strong connection with the home. Always somehow things are related to the home. You're making money from the home. You're enjoying life from the home. So this is why the 10th house and 4th house is very important, because you also have to understand this is where the Digbala concept comes in for the sun. Rahu is this future life. Rahu wants to experience everything that life has to offer. Everything that Vishnu has to offer, Brahma has to offer, Rahu wants to take it. You know, it's like your gamers, those professional gamers who are in the simulator playing. They're playing for the championship and they're so good at it. That's what Rahu is. Rahu is this simulation that we play. Rahu makes us think that yes, everything is here and this is what it is here, is what exists. This material things, this something that I can touch and feel. But as soon as the game is over, you're out of the simulator and you see the real thing around you. So Rahu represents our immature experiences in this life. Something that we're not really good at, but we're here to experience it. So we're playing this video game. We don't know what the next round is. We don't know who's coming. We don't know where the dragon is coming, where the bad guy is going to come and shoot. So these are the two things we're always dealing with. Rahu in the 10th house and Ketu in the 4th house. The dance you'll always play is your outer life, inner life, outer life. Rahu here shows one is always wanting to have a great image in the world. They really want people to respect them. That's what the main thing is. They want to come out as something which is far bigger than everything else, which is far more magnificent than anything else, even though they may not be. They want to portray that image that I am magnificent. I am worthy to be the leader, to be the king. Why is Rahu wanting to be the leader and the king in the 10th house? This is where the sun concept comes in. Where the sun gets its full Digbala. 10th house. The directional strength for the sun is the 10th house. Rahu there kind of acts like that exalted sun. Kind of acts like that 10th house sun. That respect me. Because I am something. I am providing something. I have the talent to be respected. But then there's that Ketu of the 4th house. Whenever there's this dissatisfaction that comes in from the 10th house, you run back into your 4th house. Whenever you get criticism, let's say you're an actor, you get criticized by the media, by the people about your last 3 movies, and your latest one also flopped. What happens is you can't take it, you go back home. And you want to eat your mother's meal. You want to be in home and tug into a little thing and watch some different movie other than yours. That's what happens. That's the dance you play all throughout life. But remember, what did I say about Ketu? Ketu is where you're trying to pay some karma off. 4th house of land, mother, happiness, vehicle shows that one has to deal with certain great satisfaction and great disappointments in the 4th house. Here it can show you may have the biggest mansion ever. You can have multiple land and real estates. But that land is a land. That land is a house. That land may not be a home. You have the biggest rooms in the house. You have the biggest everything. But what's missing is the emotions and love of the mother. Or you have the love of the mother. Your mother, you feel this karmic connection with your mother. Perhaps she was your mother from past life. You're willing to do anything for her. And what you do, you end up sacrificing your happiness, comforts, your land for your mother. So it's this duality you play back and forth. Just within the 4th house. And what happens is when that frustration comes in, that I am giving, all of these things are happening. I still love my mother, but why is it that full satisfaction is not coming? Well, maybe because I now need to go outside and look for that satisfaction. I need to look for the fame. I need to get love from other people. Perhaps because maybe my mother's not giving me the love that I want. Maybe my fixed assets, my possessions are not giving me the love that I thought they would. Ketu in the 4th house, you can have a Ferrari, you can have a Bentley, you can have a Rolls Royce, and you will still feel empty. Because that Rolls Royce is you alone driving in it. Or you just feel alone in it. But remember, Ketu can give everything. Ketu may give you everything. Look for which sign Ketu is placed in, but also look for the dispositor. Where's the dispositor placed? Is it in the 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, 9th house, 10th house, 11th house? How far that dispositor is sitting? Is it 3rd from itself? Is it 4th from Ketu? Or is the dispositor of Rahu 10th from Rahu? All these things will show you the strength of the nodes. And obviously the nakshatra, all of these things have to be seen. But also, if you notice on my website, if you go on astrologycares.com, under the article section, around the bottom you'll see an article that I've written, maybe I think 2 years now, called Rahu Artha House Secrets. This is where I say that Rahu in the Artha house is 2nd house, 6th house, and 10th house. When you have Rahu in the Artha houses, fame will come to you. But one thing you have to understand, you have to go towards the fame. You must get fame if you want to make money, if you want to live your life the way you feel like. Doesn't matter how introverted you are. People need to know your name by your face and your face by your name for you to make money. This is something I learned from this one other astrologer back in 2005, I believe. I forgot his name. But that's where he told me this. And if you look at charts of anybody in the Artha houses, they would have recognition and fame in their life. Obviously, you have to see the dispositor because fame can turn into infamy very quickly, also with this Artha houses. But if you have Rahu in the Artha houses, like 10th house, the most powerful house for Rahu, the more fame you get, the more of a following you have, the more money you will have. I don't care what you do, even if you're an IT person, okay? So let's say you're an IT, you have Rahu in the 10th house. Get your name out there. Write articles, write books, make social media articles, videos on IT. Become like a public figure of IT, where even somebody in Google will be like, oh, I remember this person, I read their articles, I've seen their videos, and he wants to apply the job in Google. Wow, I want to meet this person. Okay. What happens is then, because of your Rahu, and you giving Rahu the fame, you're not getting the fame, you're giving Rahu the fame. Rahu will be like, okay, I'm going to have you make such an impression on people where Google will offer you double the amount compared to other IT professionals. And I've seen this happen. So never deny the power of Rahu. But especially in the 10th house, Rahu can make an excellent politician, excellent governor, government professional, especially when it comes to politics, where your face is out there, where you are making a dynamic expression on people. Your image is what matters. That's where Rahu excels. Then, Ketu being in the 4th house, especially remember the 4th house, the original moksha triangle. Your comfort is not in fame. Your comfort is in spiritual liberation. And that's something that everybody then misses until late in their life, where they want to leave the fame, they want to leave everything, they want to go towards Ketu. Because Ketu in moksha triangle becomes very important. It's a placement that can no longer be ignored then. Sure, it's your past. I don't need to worry about my past. I'll worry about my future later. Or I'll worry about my future. I don't need to worry about my past. But because it's in moksha houses, Ketu is trying to indicate something. Ketu and Rahu are teaching a very important lesson here. The more you run after fame, the less you are going to find satisfaction. The more you run towards finding liberation, enlightenment, the more you are going to be finding your heart chakra being opened. The more you are going to liberate yourself and you will get what you want. But the thing is, you must accomplish that Rahu task if you want to live in the material world. You can find monks, you can find adhoris, you can find Nath Sampradayas, you can find any kind of a guru and a priest with Rahu in the 10th house, Ketu in the 4th house. Doesn't mean that they're running after money. They realize the game of the Rahu. What happens is they get the fame, they get knowledgeable. People know them, kind of like, let's say, Dalai Lama. Everybody knows him around the world. Nobody knows his time of birth, though. Nobody knows his chart, I think. Everybody speculates, but he could have Rahu in the 10th house. Fame is coming. But because Dalai Lama followed its 4th house, he is constantly happy. And this is the game that you are playing. Your image and your private world is needing to balance at all times. But because Rahu becomes very strong in moksha triangles, or Ketu becomes very strong in moksha triangles, Rahu becomes very strong in artha triangles, it is a pure, beautiful balance. If the dispositor are placed good, this person knows how to balance both things. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Rahu, Ketu in the 4th and 10th axis. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Rahu, Ketu are placed, all my books, reports, destiny points, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.